Blackstone Audio presents The Red Chipmunk Mystery by Ellery Queen, Jr. This book is read by Traber Burns. Chapter 1. Champ Starts It All. The boy named Djuna clung to the leash of his little black Scottie, Champ, while he and his friend, Ben Franklin, stood near the entrance to Gate 18 and anxiously scanned the faces of the hurrying people in the great cavern of the railway station. It was a hot summer morning in late August, and all the bustle and confusion made it seem even hotter. A bell rang sharply, and Champ gave a startled tug at his leash and barked at it in protest. A moment later a loudspeaker blared, "Train for Harrisburg, Altoona, Johnstown, Pittsburgh, and points west, leaving from platform 12. All aboard!" Enginemen, drivers, porters, and barrows loaded with baggage buzzed busily around the two boys. Voices rose high and shrill as people called goodbye to each other. There was excitement everywhere. "That's not my train," said Djuna, "but I wish Mr. Furlong would hurry." Ben Franklin reached into his pocket and pulled out a tiny green turtle that was barely larger than a $half. Both Ben and Djuna looked anxiously at the turtle, whose name was Waterbury, as it stuck out its head and its left front leg. "Jeepers! It's nearly 8:45 by Waterbury," Ben exclaimed, "and he's right on time, too, by the station clock. You suppose Mr. Furlong overslept again?" Mr. Furlong, a newspaper reporter, was a friend of both the boys. They admired him, because he was really a good reporter, but he liked to pretend that he was lazy. Waterbury looked alarmed at seeing so many people around, and hastily pulled his head inside his shell. "I don't think so," Djuna replied as Ben put the turtle that served him as a watch back in his pocket. "He said he'd be here, sure, and you know you can always depend on Mr. Furlong." "Well, I hope he isn't too late," Ben said, and he frowned, "because I looked in at the office for a minute on the way to the station, and Mr. Caravan said—" "There he comes," said Djuna, and he could hardly believe his eyes, because the plump young man who was coming up the steps was actually hurrying. His round, pleasant face was dripping with perspiration. He wiped it with a large white handkerchief as he looked around for the boys. Ben Franklin jumped up and down and waved his arms to attract Socker Furlong's attention, and Champ, although he wasn't quite sure what the excitement was about, began to jump up and down, too. Socker's jovial face became a wide grin as he spotted the two boys, and he heaved a sigh of relief. "Someday," he said as he came.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?